Alright guys, so I still haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do because I measured these wrong. They need to be like 15 inches, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep them at 15 and a half. And right now I'm gonna go ahead and weld them on, and then we're gonna go from there because I think 15 and a half will work just fine. But I'm struggling with the jaw part of it, but we'll figure that out after I get this welded on. Alright guys, so Tucker! Sorry. So I got it tacked, both bars tacked on there, and then I ran a bead on both ends, and then I thought it's gonna be hot in through here, so we might need to put a bead on the middle so the bars don't warp out or in or up or anything. So I went ahead and did that too. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this right quick. I probably should have checked this way before I put the beads on here, because I could probably screw this up really easily. Let me grab some different material. This rebar. Yeah, it'll hold this rebar just good, just nice and good. Allows for a lot bigger material to go in there, and it'll work just fine, I think. I hope. So now we really gotta wait till this cools down before I can mess with it again. But the next step is to figure out the jaw tip over here and see what goes on, or how I can figure that out. So basically I'm gonna have everything pre-forged out. I'm gonna need to make a tool that I can use to square off the part right here where it's going to be connected to the other half tongue, and I'll probably use that rest of that piece of stainless steel I have over there, cut some of it in half. While this is cooling down, I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece with the chop saw I got. Alright guys, so I got this all cleaned up on the bottom, flattened out as good as I can get it. I ground still kind of warm. I ground a bevel on the side for better welding, for a better weld. So now, let's get that stuff moved close to out of the way. I think this is just going to be the best way to do it, is to just mark where it needs to go. Like this block here, it needs to get welded on right there, and then this needs to just go. Ooh, youch, it's hot. I think that'll work just fine. It doesn't need to be necessarily perfect. It needs to just be able to function and make good products at a quicker pace than what I could do it by freehanding them. And I think this'll work just fine. So I think I am ready to weld this on and this on. Alright Alright guys, so it's pretty well done. It's still really hot from me welding, but basically I'll have some stock to forge tongs out with. I'll heat it up, put the tip in here, clamp it down with some vice grips so it doesn't move, bend it around this, set it in this so it's nice and straight, and just it'll be so much easier than taking multiple heats and trying to work it around the anvil, trying to get them to match whenever I can have identical to close to identical tools with this jig. So hopefully, my fingers are crossed that it works. Alright guys, so it's been a few days since I recorded that last shot. In my mind I was thinking I'm not gonna finish making, I completely forgot about a important step in making the Tong Jig. So what I'm going to do today is make the flattening die for, let me grab the tong right here, the flattening die that'll help me flatten out the part of the tong right here for the rivet to go through. This will help me be more accurate where I want it to be at, a smaller area. That way, and I don't have to really guess where my hammer's hitting. I can be really accurate, set on top, hit the die with the hammer, and I think that'll just work out pretty good. So I think last part I did, I finished up welding the jig. It's completely done. It's over there in the vise still. I haven't moved it at all. And so what my plan is for the die is I'm just going to take this piece of angle iron. I don't know what it came off of, just an old piece. I'm going to cut it off about right here with the grinder, and then I'm going to clean it up, put it like this. How am I going to do that? I should be able to just set it on there like that and weld it, but I'm going to weld it on like this, and then that'll be my die for it. Pretty simple, won't take me very long. Longest part will be cleaning it up and setting all the cameras up to record everything in the welder. So let's I'm going to put my respirator on, get this thing cut, wire brushed off. I need to grind some little edges on here so it'll take a better weld, and I think that's it. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, the piece is in the fire right now, warming up. It's slowly getting there. It'll take it a minute. It's a pretty big piece, but should be ready to go into the quench here in, I'd say, hopefully 5 minutes or so. And all honesty, I don't think I've ever heated anything up this big around ever. So it's kind of new to me. I'm just taking a guess on how long it's going to take, but I'm kind of excited on how this might turn out. I got the piece of rebar out right here that I'm just going to do a test trial with, see if it'll work. I'm going to use this. I'll use the jig I made. I'm going to try it all out and see if there's any place where I can try to improve it, make it easier to work with. I did figure out that right here I won't be able to stick it in the I can't think of my words today. Stick it in the jig and bend it around very easily and get the tip put in. So I think this little piece of bar right here is an inch long. So I think I'm just going to take it over here to the anvil, beat it down at a 90-degree angle, set it in here, put the vice clamps right here on it, hold it, and then just take it around and work on it that way. See how that goes. It's all going to be a learning process for me. So I hope you guys enjoy the video so far. It's been definitely learned quite a bit. Well, I had to watch a lot of videos on it. There's a fly on there. Get out here. I had to watch a lot of videos on making tongs just so I could figure out how to do it the correct way. So I'm just really excited and hope that it works pretty good so I can have another, how do I want to say this? Have another way to make me money so I can make better videos, get more high quality tools so I can make hopefully Damascus one day. I did get a grant from FFA. I think I mentioned that in a previous video. So hopefully I'll be able to get a power hammer soon or a hydraulic press. I don't know what will come first, but yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I'll get back to y'all whenever this thing's heated up and ready to go into the quench. Alright guys, so first quench didn't take. I quenched it in oil. I had it as deep as I can get it. So I don't know exactly what type of steel this is. So I think this time I'm going to try quenching it in water. It's not exactly what I want to do. It's probably not the best thing to do. But the oil didn't seem to work. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to try water this time and see if that gets me a better result. Alright guys, so it worked. The water worked. It's nice and hard. I cooled it down too much back here though. The temper colors aren't running forward, so I'm gonna set it in the fire with this side down, and hopefully it'll just run the colors through here up. Alright guys, so temper colors ran pretty good. Nice straw brown up from here up. So that's perfect. Worked really good to set it in the fire with the fire right here. I'm gonna let this cool down completely, and while that's cooling down, I'm gonna stick that piece of rebar in the fire, and we're going to test out the jig a little bit. Maybe if this is cooled down enough by then, we'll use this, see how this works out too. So I'm going to stick this in the water right here, let it cool down, get the blower turned back on. fire. So I'll get back to y'all whenever that piece of rebar is nice and hot, ready to be forged on here. Our first step is going to be bending about an inch and a half of the end of the rebar downwards at probably a 90-degree angle, pretty close, roughly 90. And put that up so that's out the way. And then we'll be able to maybe do that all in one heat, put it over here, clamp it down, run it around the bar, see how that all turns out, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I found one problem that I'll need to fix before I can really do anything with this, is right here, right in there, there's not, I don't like how, well, I need to put something right there to be able to bend the piece back around, so it's not just kind of like a straight shot this way, you know what I mean? I don't know. Let me grab those tongs right quick and see how these look in comparison. Yeah, so I think I'll need to put like an elbow piece right here. That way we can bend it around, back around, bend it back, and set it down here in the guide. It'll work a lot better, I believe. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done here, and I'll get back to y'all whenever I get that piece welded on. I'm not gonna show that because this is again running on longer than I want it to. So I'm gonna get that piece welded on. I'll get back to y'all whenever the rebar is nice and hot and we get back to it. Alright guys, so I got the little piece welded on here. I decided to go with a round piece of rebar, give it a nice curve to it, and it's not going to be just a sharp angle. So I think that'll work pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and run it through and see if it'll work fine. So that's what we're doing right now. Alright guys, so this is the shape we came out with. In my opinion, I think it's going to be pretty good. I don't have another piece of rebar to match this, so I can't tell if it's going to line up good or not. It's just kind of like a little test run to see if it'll give me a decent shape. Ricky, quit drinking my water, dog. But now I'm going to move on to heating this back up right in here and using my hammer die I made earlier. So we're going to do that right now and see how that goes. Alright guys, so figured out I don't need that hammer die. It's just a lot easier to do it with the hammer. I might be able to use that die for whenever I get a power hammer or something for making tongs a bit easier. But right now the hammer is going to be the easiest way for me to go. I have a piece of rebar in the fire right now. I'm just going to test it out, see if they match up pretty good of where, let's see, where the hole's going to go and if they're going to be close enough to like grab stuff with. If not, I'll figure out where or how I need to adjust them. This jig right here is not perfect, but it definitely gives me the ideal shape. And then I can adjust from there, from if I need to be wider or smaller jaws. I think it'll be a really good tool for the shop, just help me out a lot. But yeah, I think I'll be able to see quite a bit more of if it's gonna line up the holes really easily and if the jaws are going to be pretty close to each other. But that's what I'm doing right now, is heating this up to test it out and see where we go from there. So it's ready to go in to the fire, or no, it's gotta go over here and get forged a little. Alright, I'm gonna stick it back in for some more heat down closer to the belly. Alright guys, so I basically made this, I made this in 2 heats, which is damn good. I mean, that, I'm really excited about that. That just makes me feel good that I actually made that, and that it's gonna be able to make stuff so easily. Let's see. Guys, that I am happy with. That, I'm just eyeballing it. That is pretty well where the tong handles would be touching each other. That's pretty good. Of course, you're gonna have different size tong jaws for stuff that's gonna be really wide and stuff that's gonna be really small. And if it's going to be small, I can always tweak these jaws a little bit, or the handles. It don't matter which one. I think I'm just really glad I decided to make this, because now that I see it working and how close I can get these tongs to be close to identical, I'm really happy about it. So guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Tong Jig making series. I had a lot of fun, I learned a lot, and I think I produced a great product that will help me in the future make more money so I can do more fun things for YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and if you guys want to check out a different series of mine, I did a skinning knife playlist. I think I did 2 or 3, I think 2 episodes on that. That'll be right here. And then I did another series. I can't remember what it is, but whatever it is, it'll be down here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and be on the lookout for the next video. Thank you.